because it's 3 times the amount of money,
Wow.
and do not come back until you made it.
So you came by yourself.
I came alone. I did not know anybody.
You did not know. So, okay, what made you decide?
Literally, Alex, I had a $500 in 2 suitcases.
Uh-huh.
That's why my podcast name is Jump, because I described to everyone that I felt like I was jumping in the dark, and I did not know what's going to happen to me, but I knew that the hand of God was in the bottle holding me up. So this is my story. It's like $500, a dream, and like this like desire and passion that I wanted to do something that I felt in my heart. It's like, I feel like everything is going to be okay, but I'm not sure exactly how. But I also felt like it was time for me to jump.
To America.
To America.
And where?
That was like my dream. That was my dream, because I watched movies growing up in Brazil. And when you watch movies in Brazil and you see the American Christmas and the American life, it was like, this is the dream. If I can just go to America and touch that people, I'll be prosperous, and I'll have a beautiful home with a Christmas tree, and I'll be happy. America symbolized to many of the foreigner countries, to many of the people that are, from like a third world country, America is like the dream place, and I wanted to live that dream. So my dad gave me $500. He sold a car to give me that money.
Oh, wow.
So he sold one of his cars, gave me the money, and said, go forward. Do not call us for money. And I tell my story all the time. It's like, when I got to the United States, it's like, one room to rent out was like $400. And I was thinking to myself, how am I going to make it? If I pay this girl $400, I don't have a lot of money left over. So I had to do so many different jobs, and I didn't have a car, and I had to figure out how to just ride the bus. I didn't know the language.
Oh, you didn't?
No, the only thing I knew was like, hello.
Wow.
It was so scary.
When did you move? What time of year? Was it the summer?
It was February, but it was in Florida. So I moved to Florida in February.
Where?
And it was called Orlando. It was Orlando.
You were okay.
And then when I got to the first house that I was supposed to be like a roommate, that she did not have even a blanket in the bed. It was like the craziest thing ever. There was like no blanket. I remember for 3 days I slept with my jacket because I know I could not afford to go to a store and buy a blanket.
My goodness.
So then I had to go to Walmart and buy like the noodles, the 10-cent noodles, and that's all I ate it.
Oh, wow. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, gosh.
And then, are you learning the language at this time?
I started learning throughout the years, yes. I found myself few American friends that were very kind to me and taught me how to say a few things. Of course, I did said many wrong things for many, many years. But I had the desire inside of me. And here's the truth. I did not want it to be a Brazilian that came to America. I wanted to be a Brazilian that became an American.
That's a quote.
That's the difference. I wanted to merge. I wanted to understand, why do you do the way that you do things? So I just fought really hard to taught myself how to speak English. And really, I had a lot of kind people around me that helped me out throughout my journey, throughout this journey of being a foreigner and immigrant with no family for a long time.
And you're painting still at this time? How did you get paint?
I got here, I couldn't paint.
No.
I had a paint studio in Brazil. I used to paint in Brazil and selling paintings and everything. But then when I get here, forget, with $500, you don't have money to buy brush. That's not your priority at all. Like, that was not what I needed to do. So I did not paint. One thing I remember, Alex, is I used to go in Florida, inside of the shopping malls. I used to look in the galleries and it used to make me cry because I was like, I wanted to paint so bad. And after like 2 months being here in the United States, one of the friends, the Brazilian friends that I met as a roommate, they gave me a $50 bill and she said, please go buy some paint and art material. You need this. And I cried, and I cried. And I went and I bought art materials, and I bought like 2 canvas. And one of the canvas, another Brazilian guy was like, I'll buy this canvas for you for $200. And I was like, I think I'll be rich. You know? So I sold that canvas. That gave me the ability to continue painting a little bit and paint a little bit. But that was not my main work. I had to work whatever was showing up when I could here.
Whatever jobs you could take, right?
Well, yeah. Most of my first jobs was like babysitter and cleaning things. And that was like, that's what I had to do. But in the midst of all that, I still felt happy. And I still felt that I was living my dream. And I felt that I was growing. And the funny thing is one of the family that I work for as a nanny, she said, Rebecca, I know you like to paint. So do you like to paint my bathroom? And I was like, sure. And she showed me a picture of what she wanted me to do. It was like a full finished job. I had no idea how to do that. I had no idea what kind of materials that you needed to use for those things. But I told her yes. So I went and I tried to research. She figured it out how to do that. And I painted her bathroom. And she loved it. She called some designs. She had some friends from like TLC back in the time. They came to see and they said, this girl is really good. And when she gave me a $500 for the bathroom, that I was like, this is what I want to do. So I ended up opening a company in Florida to doing like hand painted murals and special things on walls. And I just did like those $5 million homes. And then I didn't have to be a nanny anymore. I was able to have my own company all the way to 2008 until the company, the market kind of crashed that time. So, but throughout the many years that I was in Florida, I was very prosperous doing those houses, and it's pretty cool. I did a lot of big homes.
What was it like starting this company? Was it a lot to learn to just build it up and create it from the ground up?
I had to learn the things that I had to learn. I did not know how to do business in America. I did not know. In Brazil, there's a lot of trade. It's like, hey, I give you a pineapple, you give me an apple, we're all happy. So I had to learn how to stand my grounds and really trying to grow in that area. But once we moved to Colorado people, it's not about making the house look like a palace because it's very down, earthy, natural wood, So when I got to Colorado, I knew that back at the time when I already got to Colorado, I had met my husband. I met my husband online, and he came and married me in Florida. That was awesome.
So you met him you met him online. And did he live in Colorado?
No, he lived in Nebraska.
Oh, but he met you online when you were in Florida.
Yes. So I was like, hey, I'm in Florida. And he's like, I'll just come to Florida. He came to Florida. By the time he came to Florida, he's like, this is not the United States. We need to move.
So and I was when did you move?
I moved in 2011 to Colorado.
Okay. From Florida to Colorado.
From Florida. Moved in 2011 to Colorado.
Why Colorado?
Because the mountains were calling.
Okay.
No, we actually came to go to a Bible college. We came to come for a Bible college, and we ended up staying here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
2011.
Yes.
And what's your husband's name?
His name is Joshua. He's awesome. He's so great.
And when did you get married? What year?
2008.
All right. So you were already married before you moved to Colorado.
Yes.
So what happens next in your artistic journey in Colorado?
Yeah. So we got to Colorado. We see the mountains. We're like, the mountains. And so when I get here, I realized that I'm not going to be able to open a mural company because no one likes that. Oh. So I saw on Craigslist an ad for, do you like to teach art? Are you fun? Are you exciting? Do you feel like a party, girl? And I was like, yeah. So I came to this interview of this painting SIP, a national painting SIP. And I went to do an interview for the job. And when I got to the interview, the lady's like, can you teach a class for 50 people? And I was like, yeah. Can you paint anything? I was like, absolutely. I had no idea how to do any of that. I didn't even know, like, the people will understand my way of saying things, like my English aspect of things, you know. But I said, yeah, I can do anything. Absolutely, I can do anything. So then I got the job teaching art classes in this place.
Now, did you have to take art classes before that? Did you ever take art classes before that?
No, not at all. Just when I was a child.
Just when you were a child?
When I was a child.
And now you're teaching them.
Yes, then I'm teaching. Every time I go to art class, I was like, please, Lord, help me, because I have no idea how to do this. But I know that I can do it. I just don't know how. And then I would smile, be like, hey, welcome to fun time, you know. And I taught the classes there for many, many years. And I learned a lot about how to paint fast and the ability. Actually, this job actually really changed a lot of my ability to paint, because I had to learn, because I was there practicing every day and getting paid to practice every day. You know, so I love the job that I got it, and we are hustling and, you know, I was doing hustling things on the side, and my husband kept saying to me, you should open an Etsy shop. You should open your Etsy shop. And I was like, you know what? I tried and no one bought it from me. 2 years has passed and no one bought it from me. And I said, I don't think I can do this. I don't know how. And at that time, the paint job that I had, one of the managers, she had an Etsy shop, and she came to me and she said, I just made $15,000 on Etsy, painting on papers. And I was like, oh, no. I went home and I was like, I made a decision. I said, if this girl can make $15,000, I can make $15,000 plus $25,000 more. I can do it. So I came home and I said, I'm going to study Etsy and I'm going to become a master on this until I actually make a lot of money on Etsy.
So what was it that you learned that gave you the edge over other Etsy
I learned and apply. So I went and I learned, okay, let's say you need to have 100 listing. So I was like, okay, let me paint 100 listings. And it was in that time where I was trying to figure out, like, what can I do that it can be different? Because most of the tutorials were saying, you need to have your own voice. You need to be authentic. You need to be you. And I was like, what can I do that it would be me? I did not know. So I looking for materials, and remember that time I wasn't so broke, but I still didn't have a bunch of money to buy stuff. So I look at materials and I said, you know what, somebody told me about, like, Habitat for Humanity has used stuff. Why don't you just go there and look for stuff where you can paint? And I was like, absolutely, I will. When I got there, I saw a bunch of screens, and I said, if I can just figure it out how to paint on screens, because each screen was $2. And I was like, if I can just figure it out how to paint on screens, I think I can do a lot. So the guy, the Habitat for Humanity guy, he knew me. He even would give me discount and be like, oh, no, this artist here needs discount. I'll make 10 screens for $1, girl.
Wow.
And I'll buy the screens. And I was buying a screen for $1, and then I put it on Facebook, and I sold for like $25. And I was like, okay, if I can buy a screen for $1, paint, and put it $25, I'll make a good profit. I just have to do this 100 times over and over again.
How big are the screens, generally?
Oh, that time we didn't even have a size. It was whatever I found.
Whatever you found.